is that? Oh my God, what is that? Oh my God!
And if you found this recording, you have to share it, or it'll be after you too. Hey everyone, welcome to Found Footage Fridays. Hope you're having a great Friday. Hope it's even better now that you're listening to me. So today's Found Footage Fridays, I decided, I always talk about certain movies and what I feel like are beginner friendly to people wanting to get into found footage, but they really just haven't found anything that has hooked them in. And people will always assume that movies like The Blair Witch Project or Paranormal Activity are the ones that you should watch first to get the foundation of found footage. I absolutely disagree with that. I think when you want to find out what found footage has to offer after you've already dipped your toes into it, I think The Blair Witch Project and Paranormal Activity are great movies. I just don't think they're the strongest to hook people in, especially now. I think they've lost a little bit of their buzz for people wanting to get into found footage. They are very slow paced. They follow the original found footage formula of nothing really happens until something really happens, and then the movie's over. But I have my top 5 beginner friendly found footage films that cover regular found footage, screen life, and mockumentary, which are the 3 major in-world camera style found footage films. So what we're going to do is we are going to start off with Hell House LLC, which I think is the most beginner-friendly mockumentary horror film out there. You have other great ones like the Horror in the High Desert franchise. You have Lake Mungo, which a lot of people really like. But again, I think those are great and they offer something really valuable to watch, but they are very slow. What makes Hell House LLC a lot more special is that the mockumentaries part of it is a little less. There's a lot more found footage film in this one, less talking heads. And the talking heads are great. They are entertaining. You're captivated by their performances. But what you're really captivated by is the group of friends that are seeking out Abaddon Hotel, which is a haunted hotel, and they want to make a haunt out of it, a haunted house basically. And this is the documentary of them doing that and the tragedy that comes from it. There's built-in tension in the found footage part of this movie where we're following the friends making this haunt, and then we start to get the creepiness of the true hauntedness of the Abaddon Hotel. And this has one of my favorite last acts, especially in found footage mockumentary style movies. So I definitely think this one is the most beginner friendly. We're moving on to Cloverfield. And a lot of you may know this movie already. And the reason why I think it's so beginner friendly is because of its high production value. You're kind of not getting that low budget found footage style that most found footage movies really go for because they're usually very indie and low budget. J.J. Abrams is neither indie nor low budget, and he really made a cinematic experience with Cloverfield. The reason why it's not higher on my list is because it does have heavy, shaky cam, and I do know that that is something that a lot of people have a big critique on when it comes to found footage, but it's a monster movie. It is a kaiju film at its core, and you're going to have, if you're doing it found footage style, it's going to be shaky cam. Sorry, but this movie has great characters. The actors, again, are people you have seen in movies before. So you get that relation to them, and you get to feel like you're still watching the movies that you are used to, but you are now watching it in found footage style. So think Transformers, think Godzilla, but you're getting to watch it in found footage. So I think that's what really makes it extremely beginner friendly. And again, it'd probably be the most beginner friendly if it didn't have the high shaky cam to it. And then we're going into a very indie found footage film, which is Frogman by Anthony Cousins. If you guys are fans of this channel, then you already know we are fans of Frogman, which follows a trio of people who are off to Loveland, Ohio to find proof that Frogman exists because the lead character saw him when he was a child, got footage of it, but everyone thought it was a hoax. So he dealt with that his whole life. And now he wanted definitive proof that Frogman truly does exist and that Frogman truly does fuck. What makes this one extremely beginner friendly to me is that it has the standard found footage formula of not too much happens until a lot happens and goes off the rails in the last third act of the movie. But you get a little glimpse of it in the beginning because you do see the proof of Frogman. So they set you up there, and then the characters are really interesting, and their dynamic is interesting as well together. So you are kind of captivated by them. The performances are great, and then what really brings it all together is that last third the third act really brings it all together because this movie goes off the rails. It is a fun time. You are always invested. You're never bored. So that is extremely beginner friendly to me. And now moving on to the most beginner friendly Screen Life film, which, to be honest, most Screen Life horror films are beginner friendly. I do think they have a unique style that keeps you captivated. And because Screen Life is relatively more newer and looks newer to the person who's watching, it keeps it a little bit more fresh than found footage films like the Blair Witch Project that make you feel, oh, this took place 30 years ago, because it did. But Screen Life offers like that fresh take of, okay, this is Zoom calls, this is Skype meetings, so this is relatively new to us, this is fresh. But the most fresh and exciting and beginner friendly movie is Host. It took place and it was filmed and took place during uh, the pandemic, during quarantine times, and that really made this movie stand out the way that Blair Witch did back in the 90s. Uh, but what really helps this one become beginner friendly is that very short runtime. It is under 60 minutes or just about 60 minutes. And the group of gals in this movie are super captivating. This movie is really scary, and it starts off like I would just say the first 5 minutes to 10 minutes are a little on the slower side, but it takes off immediately because Gemma does something really funny that sets a chain of events, and it really never lets up after she does what she does in the movie. Um, I really like this one. It is not boring at all. Like I said, it once it starts, it completely goes, and this might be on one of the more scarier in-world camera Screen Life found footage films I have seen. And it really stands after rewatches, even though it is, I think, the time that it was released really helped it to make it that much more scarier and deliver a punch. Really think that it just stands, and it's still scary post-quarantine COVID pandemic. And that leads us to our number one beginner-friendly found footage film. And if you guys are not new to the channel, you've heard me say this about this movie plenty of times, and that is God Forsaken. This movie does start immediate. There is a big moment in a church where, and this isn't a spoiler because it's literally the beginning, and it starts the chain of events of the entire movie. Um, they're all at a funeral, and the body in the casket comes alive, and it is chaos, and it is complete chaos throughout the entire movie. Again, these are characters you care about. These are characters you are invested in. The performances are fantastic. It doesn't let up. There is a very creepy story that unravels, and you are just kind of invested in it. I think religious horror and found footage go very hand in hand to deliver that creep factor. I think you are constantly entertained in this movie. I think the further it goes, the more off the rails it gets. And whether you like it or not at the end of the movie, that is up to you, because we all have our own taste, but I can guarantee you, you will never be bored. And that is the main critique that people really give regarding found footage films, is that it's boring, and this movie is not that. So definitely go ahead and check out God Forsaken. Check out all 5 films if you haven't already that I talked about. These are, to me, the most beginner-friendly in-world camera movies covering found footage, screen life, and mockumentary. And I hope you all have a great Friday. And as always, come check us out next week. Thank you.